Okay, so about the ARK, today I'm gonna talk a bit about the bigger picture about the ARK, both because we have new faces in the call and because it's always good to remind why we are doing this together and what we are doing. So we at Green Steps started from a problem and a mission for developing the platform. We saw some problems. The first one is a social issue, and is the fact that people and children are getting progressively more disconnected from nature. And another problem is related to current solutions. What we saw is, and we see still today, is that we have a fragmentation in the efforts on, let's say, push education for sustainable development. So, why? Okay. So we thought about how we could approach those problems. And our mission, the mission of the ARK, is to accelerate the impact of those efforts related to education for sustainable development. And how do we do this? By empowering individual educators and the communities they work with, the communities they create, and the communities they support with their activity. So the ARK is a way to show the time you have spent to contribute to a solution of the climate crisis. How do you contribute? In our opinion, is you build community and you connect with nature. So by your action, by spending time on these activities, you really contribute to a solution. What is the ARK in practice? It's a gamified social network that has also an educational purpose. And it is focused on climate action. So we relate our goal to the 13th goal of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And it's really, we think of it as a solution to combat the climate crisis. How we do this? By accelerating the impact through gamification practices inside the platform, and by creating a learning environment that is focused more on social and ecological intelligence as topics and as learning things. We have two kinds of users: the learners, who are just people who want to get more in contact with nature, and professionals, so people who are working in education for sustainable developments, which is probably we that are in this call. Those two users share the same functionalities. First, the profile, which is the place where you have a cockpit to check on your impact credits. So the impact credits are embodying the time that you have spent on the solution, as we said before, and you can manage your activities. The community section, where you can manage everything, information about your own community or explore other communities. Inside, of course, we're going to have detailed information about members, user roles, and description, the activities going on. An activity section, so where you can create events and courses or participate to events and courses organized by other communities. And last but not least, the library, which is the place where to share best practices that you as an educator have designed, and also check on other educators' best practices. So it's the place where you can find inspiration about activities related to education for sustainable development. Across those four functionalities, we have the gamification that we carry on through leaderboards, credits, and badges. And this is how we believe we can show how much you have contributed to a solution to the climate change. And it's also a way to really keep people involved in doing more about these topics. And with this, I'm gonna hand it over to Lucas, which is going to show us actually how this is done in the ARK, in the live system. Okay. Wait.
All right, thanks for the overview, Anna. Very clear. I'm gonna share you my screen and let's go straight into the platform. Behold the ARK. Let's start with an overview of the functionalities. A big picture can be seen from the menu on the left, which is the main menu, which is visible on all big screens. In the home, you've got your profile with your impact credits and other things. We're going to go in details later on. As the second card are all the events and courses, all the activities on the platform. The third menu are communities, which list all the communities that have boarded the ARK. The fourth item is the library, which is a tool for communities and educators to share best practices among each other. And fifth one, a new one, leaderboard, which shows the total impact of all ARK users, and hopefully you will find yourself in one of the top positions sometime soon. So if you have participated in the previous calls, maybe you have noticed that things look a little bit different. We have implemented Anna's design in the user profile. So it looks the way it looks right now. I think it looks pretty beautiful, both on desktop and on mobile. The whole app is responsive and easy to use for both learners and educators on the mobile. So let's go through the sections of the profile. You can set up your banner picture and profile picture, just as you know from other social platforms. Your name, the name of your bioregion, and some information about you. And one of the biggest things on the page is your impact credits, which is basically showing the amount of hours that you have spent in both learning and facilitating activities. 1 hour, 10 credits. If you click on your credits, you can see the history where you gain those credits for what. Okay, let's go back to the profile. On the top right is another important section, which is showing your latest achievements in terms of badges. Badges are a way to certify participants that they have gained a skill, that they have finished a course. So as you can see in here, I've got the badge of Green Steps Activity Guide, which the Green Steps organization, both in Shanghai and in Europe, uses to determine whether or not a person is able or allowed to lead Green Steps activities. This section of the badges is, with this we are aiming to give the space for all kinds of organizations to create their own badges and to use them to certify their members. So looking forward to see some more badges in the next months. The section under is connected accounts. You might know this kind of functionality from, for example, Amazon, Kindle, where you can create accounts for your family. So this is exactly the same principle. When you are booking an activity for your child, the child is not supposed to have its own profile until I think 16 years old. maybe that number is different. So parents can see the progress of their child through the profile, which can be accessed from their own profile. Maybe if you tried this in the past, you might remember that it was not possible to edit or delete information about your connected accounts. This has now changed, and you can both edit and delete. For example, if you made a mistake. Finally, I'm able to clean up my profile. The next section is showing which communities you have already joined, and you can jump quickly to their profile. And last but not least, one of the most important, your upcoming activities. Seems like I've got one ongoing right now. And in here, of course, you can see all your past activities as well. In case you decide not to go, we have extended so that you can actually cancel. That was also not possible until a few weeks ago. And you can also see your past activities. So that's about it for the user profile. Last but not least, there is a new settings menu on the top right of the screen, where you can do things like change your banner picture, modify your name, and change the information about you. Don't forget to save in the bottom. You can change your password, and you can delete your account in case you made a mistake by coming to the to the ARK. All right, so that's the new user profile. The next thing that I wanted to show to you was the community profile. I know that I've been showing it last time, so I wanted to ask the crowd, did I show you the functionality to edit a community last time? Or should I quickly show it again? Did I show it last time?
No, I don't.
I did not. Okay.
More new things.
Yes,
more new things. Yes. Okay, so I think we showed last time the new design of the community. It's very similar to the user profile. So you see as the main indicator the community impact, which is the amount of credits accumulated in activities in this community. So you see that in our alpha phase, the Green Steps Shanghai have already spent, wow, it's a lot, 1,193 hours combined in all of the activities. And yeah, I'm going to keep the leaderboard for later. Here you can see if you are a member or not, and if you are not, you can join the community with this button, and that means that the credits that you achieve that you gain with this community will be actually counted in here. And the members overview. If you are the manager of this community, and that's probably interesting for you, you can manage the members, and you can manage your join requests, and you can change the role of the people inside. So you can say if they are a member, a mentor, which means basically the admin in the community, or a facilitator, which has less rights than the mentor, can only create and edit events. Okay, so here's the members. Then one of the most important, I think, upcoming events, with the plus button to create a new one for the facilitator and the mentor. And on the right side, description of the team, listing of the team who is actually running this community, and information about the commons that the community is taking care of, its bioregion and biome, and there's also space to write some information about your facility. So as Green Steps Shanghai doesn't really have a facility other than our office, we don't have much in here. And the new thing is that all of those sections now have an edit icon, and as the community mentor, you can change the logo, change the banner, edit the name, added the motto, the information about. And maybe an important information is that all of this information is translatable. So on the top right corner, you can see the languages that the ARK is available in currently. We've got English, Chinese, and German at this moment. And if you change the language as you are editing, then you can translate the content, and it will be visible in this language for users who are viewing the platform in this language. Okay, so that's edit community. And another tiny improvement that I wanted to show is the checkout page. As this is not mainly an event platform, but a learning platform, we require all users who book activities to actually attach a name to the booking, so that we know who to give the credits to, right? So each participant is attached to the activity in the booking page. So in most ticketing platforms, you would just select that you want to buy 5 tickets, and that's it, right? You buy 5 tickets and the platform doesn't really care who those 5 tickets are for. But in the ARK, we want to actually motivate people to learn, and that's why we are asking to assign participants to the amount of tickets that you are purchasing. So in the past, the interface was slightly different. Right now, as you select the number of tickets that you want to buy, you tap into the box. You can see your connected accounts and yourself. So let's say that you want to buy a ticket for yourself, and then you want to buy a ticket for your child. So I'll put my child in here, which is purely fictional. And then let's say that I also want to buy a ticket for Knut. Then I can type his name and I can select him. And in this way, I buy the ticket for Knut, and he will see it as an upcoming event in his profile. And also he will get a notification. Okay, if you don't put a name in here, the platform will not let you go on. You have to select the name. If it is someone who doesn't have an account in the platform, then you can create a new one and it will be attached to your profile as a connected account. You can choose between adding a child and adding an adult. So this is the workflow that we have come up with, as easy as it gets to know who's coming to the event and who should be receiving the credits. And also, of course, we are curious to hear from you as you start to use the platform later on, how your users are doing with booking through the ARK. This iteration is based on feedback of the alpha user, which is Green Steps Shanghai. Okay, and then last but not least, new functionality is the leaderboard, which you already saw quickly. So this is the total impact of the platform, your impact and your position worldwide, and then the impact leaders. I hope you guys will see yourself in here very soon. This is the global leaderboard. And maybe another thing that I should have mentioned, if you are in the community, so let's go to St. Pölten, then as you tap on the amount of credits in the community profile, you can see the leaderboard of the community. So the first one, this actually is counting all the credits of the users inside of that community. So basically it doesn't count my credits in St. Pölten, it's counting my credits from all around the world. Yeah, so that's pretty much it of the new functionality from the last month. The library is still still the same as it was. And I think Anna will be talking about this later on. We are making some big changes based on the feedback again from the alpha user in the way that the library and the events are connected. So stay tuned. This is it from my side. I'm going to pass the hosting back to Anna. And meanwhile, if you already have some questions, then please ask.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Richard.
Okay. So when you were displaying the, when you're booking for an event and you have, it's mandatory for you to put in the name of the user that you're coming with or your child. At any point in time after you purchase the ticket, are you able to, maybe you decide not to get the person back in there, are you able to change their names after you have purchased the ticket?
Good question. So the only thing that you can right now do as a person who made the booking is canceling it. Okay. We have to keep things simple from the beginning, and this is definitely the most easy way to do it. So basically you would cancel the booking and make a new one. Another thing to do would be to get in touch with the facilitator of that event, and the facilitators are able to edit the bookings. So in that case, you would ask whoever is organizing the event to change the name for you, or you could ask them to add another name and send them the money in some other means. Of course, our hands will be much more far-reaching after we implement automatic refund, and then it would be feasible to think about editing a booking. Then probably you would be able to get some money back in case you are making it less people, or then it would ask you to pay for the reminder. But again, we stick with the most simple way of doing things in the beginning.
Thank you.
Any other question? Polly?
Yes, sorry, sometimes I've got a attention disorder. For the ticket, because we are here for the ticket, otherwise it's very clear. Thank you, and even succeed to create my account, my profile. So I'm very happy. I think it's one of the most clearest website I ever seen. So thank you for that. But I skipped the information for the ticket. Do we need, I would say, for example, Magnolia is creating an event. Do I need to connect where I connect the bank account, or I need to put the bank account of Magnolia, or it's still ARK or Green Step or what, our bank account? How we work with these details?
Yeah, so that's quite an important detail, right? As the stage, at the current stage of the platform, as the alpha user is Green Steps, the payment is only to Green Steps Shanghai. So if we have a beta user agreement, and now don't take my word for granted, this needs to be determined. If you want to use the WeChat Pay from the beginning already now, then there has to be a manual accounting done, let's say on a monthly basis between Green Steps and Magnolia. The next stage of this is that you will be able to enter your own WeChat Pay credentials, and then the money, when the users are paying, go directly to Magnolia official WeChat account. Yeah, that's the feature that we are planning for later on this year. Okay. Currently, the payment is going only to Green Steps.
Okay, and sorry, maybe it's quite nice to imagine that always part of the ticket will go to ARK in order to, I mean, say, pay you guys the maintenance, the system. Otherwise, I got the idea of it's a platform to exchange the best practice, but still, life is money, and I don't know, it's an agreement between, well, I don't know. I'm sure you already spoke about a lot of things, but I'm ready to start. So just let me know how we can do it.
Knut, do you want to take this one? What is the plan on the remuneration of usage of the platform?
Thank you. It's of course an important question. I had a long talk with John also yesterday. We have already from the very beginning envisioned a social impact business model, because if the platform is not sustainable, it cannot be maintained for a long term and cannot create any impact. The idea is, but this still has to be implemented, and it will take still some time, that we have a very little fee based on credits and badges awarded by a community or a pro facilitator. And these fees will be much lower than the cheapest event platform that is on the market. For non-profits, those fees are waived. So non-profits will always use it free of charge, unless they have for-profit events, but it will be always free of charge. But they are invited to pay it as a donation. So this is the current status. We will implement this over the next quarter, and then there will be an update. So don't worry, we think about this, of course, also, because otherwise the platform will not be maintained properly.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe we should add something about Europe, because we spoke about WeChat as a method of payment, but actually we plan to have payment methods that are more common in Europe. By now, since Green Steps in St. Pölten is only having events, we are not say tackling the issue, but it's planned. So in the next time we're gonna develop payment methods also for Europe.
Yeah, the next in the buffer, like already now you can select the cash on arrival payment, and the next one which is planned is a bank transfer, which will be then done only manually, which means the user says that he's paying bank transfer, he sees the bank information, then he can say I have paid, and then on the receiving side, the person says I have received, and then it's marked as paid. And then of course the next step is a payment gateway supporting probably most credit cards, and we would like to choose one that supports also cryptocurrencies. So that's the plan for the rest of the year.
I would like to add here one thing, especially also for Moritz and Pauline, because Pauline asked this question. For us, it was very important developing such a project to identify in the beginning what is not yet on the market. And the problem that we currently face is that there is a deeply fragmented offering of environmental education or education for sustainable development. And if we want to combine those forces, we need a platform where we can collect credits and show to everybody on our single profiles what we have already contributed. It makes each one of us very powerful because we can do something, not just listen to diplomats who negotiate in Kyoto or Paris. Payment integrations with Stripe or WeChat, they already exist, many of them. It's nothing new. So we will be able to implement this over the next few months. I'm pretty sure of this. But what you see now is something novel. It is not on the market yet.
Okay, then if there are no more questions by now, I'm gonna share something about the the onboarding process. So maybe it makes things a bit more clear. So what are the functionalities that we saw with Lucas? Basically, creating a personal profile, creating a community, creating an activity, that could be an event or a course, and creating a best practice. We didn't see something specific on this time. We saw it in the past calls. What is ready by now is you can create a personal profile and you can create a community, like typing in the information. These two functionalities, create activity and best practice, are going to be ready for May the 20th when we have our next call. That's because, as Lucas was mentioning, we are having big changes the backend. So we are working to make them ready for May the 20th. And you may ask yourself, okay, but how can I try, or when can I try the available functionalities in practice? You have to, okay, for the personal profile, you should have already created it. If you haven't, you can try it by yourself. You just type in the URL for the ARK, the new ARK, and you can create your personal profile. For the community profile, you have to set a one-on-one call with us, talking to your contact person, so the person that has introduced you to this call, basically. And we'll schedule a call together where we hand the URL to you to create the community. So we introduce and try this functionality specifically, and we at the ARK team, we collect the feedbacks and questions that you may have. After you have done that, you can explore the unlocked functionalities of the ARK. So basically, you can just move around, get familiar with the platform, and get ready for the new functionalities before the next call. So just a reminder, these two are going to be ready for May the 20th for the next call. I'm going back here one moment. You may ask yourself, why do we need to have a call to create the community or to try any functionality? That's very important for us as the developers of the platform. As Lucas was mentioning, most of the changes that we have done through the platform from the beginning were done because of the feedbacks we received from the alpha users, so from Green Step Shanghai. So that's the way we can make the product better, the platform better to use for you and for people coming in the future. So that's why we need really to be with you in the moment you do actions on the platform. And that's it. If you have any other doubt, question, feedbacks, whatever comes to your mind,